everywhere. I looked through hundreds of files, searched through my text messages, I even looked everywhere in my wardrobe, but I just couldn't find where I asked for your opinion.
Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, where I scour the internet and look for situations so that I can offer my unsolicited opinion. Today's episode comes from Dear Abby. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, mother's judgment hinders daughter's recovery. Dear Qadriyyah Safiyyah, I have suffered my entire life from a severe shopping addiction. I recently relapsed, and I'm trying to recover financially. I can't afford counseling right now, and I can't ask for help from my mother because of how horribly she shames me about my addiction. In fact, I have realized that having her in my life at all is a massive trigger because she constantly puts me down for not being financially stable as an adult. She also constantly compares me not only to herself when she was my age, but to others in my generation. How can I tell her I no longer want her in my life for the sake of my mental health and addiction recovery? Pulling back in Texas. Well, first of all, exactly like that. Ma, I can no longer have you in my life for the sake of my mental health and my addiction recovery. Don't stutter like I did. Ma, I can no longer have you in my life for the sake of my mental health and addiction recovery. That's it. That's literally all I have to do. You can have a lunch with her. You can record yourself saying it to her. You can write her a letter. You can send it in a note. You can text message her. Any way you want to do it is reasonable and perfectly suitable. Whatever way that you can muster up the strength to literally say to her, Ma, I can no longer have you in my life for the sake of my mental health and my addiction recovery. Then muster it up whatever way you know how, whatever method that you feel confident that you will be successful, and deliver it to her. If you have to pass it through somebody, maybe want to, oh no, it doesn't say you have siblings. Maybe you can do a TikTok compilation from the other people in your generation and piece together them saying, Ma, I can no longer have you in my life for the sake of my mental health and addiction recovery. There are plenty of celebrities who have probably said at least two of those words. You could piece together a celebrity edition. You could do a TikTok that pieces together people from your generation, and you can also do a celebrity edition, okay? In regards to being able to afford therapy, YouTube has plenty of self-help facilitators. One of my absolute favorites, Abraham Hicks. You can find a plethora of Abraham Hicks on YouTube free. And that will help you really spend time discussing with yourself the thought patterns that do not serve you. Also, Abraham Hicks is a wonderful support for knowing your worth, for knowing your birthrights, for understanding that you are deserving. And also, Abraham Hicks is an excellent guide in terms of the relationships that we have. Because you may be at a point in your addiction / recovery where changing your environment is the path of least resistance. But they might not always be the case. You may find yourself comfortable with being triggered so that you can address those triggers within your own self. So I highly suggest that you go on the YouTubes, okay, and find some Abraham Hicks videos that resonate with you. And if you're a reader and you like reading, Abraham Hicks has all kinds of books that you can order, that you could read through, that have processes and, journaling you can do. I also have a companion journal available on the Amazons that I did a 40-day, 40-night fast, and I journaled, and then I published that journal with space for other people to write their journaling while they also go through a 40-day, 40-night experience. So the companion journal is named This Side Intentionally Left Blank, and you're welcome to purchase it and use it as you will. But there are all kinds of resources out there. I'm sure that there's some Abraham Hicks books at your local library, right? Since the goal is not shopping, I'm gonna pull back my suggestion about purchasing anything and suggest that you go to your local library and find the self-help section. Find some Abraham Hicks. Another person that helped me on my journey was Dr. Robert Anthony. I don't know if he has, I'm pretty sure he has books out there because people love reading and people love writing books. So I'm pretty sure that there's a Dr. Robert Anthony book out there. The Power of Deliberate Creation. Those are the CDs I listen to, or really the MP3s that I listen to. But yeah, don't hold off on your personal growth and development because you cannot afford therapy. Don't hold off on it. Ask whatever God you serve to bring into your life methods and situations that will support and encourage your recovery. But my strongest suggestion is to go on the YouTubes. I don't think Dr. Robert Anthony is on the YouTubes, but I know Abraham Hicks is. And Abraham Hicks has people, chop and screw Abraham Hicks's lectures, and they do cruises, and they take those and they put them in segments that are extremely helpful. I listen to Abraham Hicks mostly every day, because there's always something new, always something that resonates, always something that's helpful. And I listen to, they have a morning rampage that gets you going in the morning so that you can start your day off excited and feeling just thrilled to have another opportunity to go at this life that we have once again. So don't hold off your therapy. Do not hold off your personal growth and development. And also, it's these days and times with Corona, you might qualify for Medicaid. Apply for Medicaid so you can get some therapy, in-person therapy. There's all kinds of concessions since we've been in this pandemic. And there are also apps. There are apps that you can utilize for your personal growth and development, because that's really what we're talking about. And I know that the solution to addiction is connection. So therapy is excellent. Therapy is excellent in peeling back the layers and figuring out how you got to where you are, and also learning mechanisms that will help you get from where you are to where you want to be. But the reason I suggest Abraham Hicks and self-help is because connection really is the solution and the appropriate response to any addiction. So, tell your mom, Mom, I can no longer have you in my life for the sake of my mental health and my addiction recovery. And also take yourself to the library, find you one of the, but listen, the key in finding a self-help guru or someone to help you or to guide you to your own personal growth and development is someone who is not going to be harsh. Choose a method that is gentle. Choose a method that is endearing. Choose a method that is soft and sweet and loving and compassionate. Don't choose somebody who's gonna, give you tough love. Okay? It just, from the sound of it, it sounds like you've had enough tough love. Or even just, it sounds like you've had enough toughness in your life. So when you are looking for someone who can encourage you toward yourself, look for someone who is kind. That is why I suggested Abraham Hicks and Dr. Robert Anthony, because they are kind, they are compassionate, they are gentle, but they are very direct and astute, and they get to the heart of the matter. And what they do the most is they encourage you to connect to yourself, to your inner guidance, and to your source, because that is always going to be the resolution, the cure for addiction. Okay? Much success to us all.